Hello everybody and welcome to my video, Getting Tidier. I hope you're well. My video starts with a couple of pictures showing that it's well and truly autumn where I live. So some really beautiful autumnal colours are appearing in our garden, when I go on my wellbeing walk, etc, etc. So I've got a good video for you today. It's a lot of the downstairs again. If I'm honest, as I went to start recording this, I really started thinking, like, am I actually getting anywhere? It just feels like I'm going round in circles, my head is chasing my tail, or whatever the expression is, and it doesn't really feel like I'm actually getting any tidier or getting any better. The haul I spent absolutely ages on, and then literally that was yesterday afternoon, and this morning I came downstairs. My husband had been outside to do the bins, and covered all over the mat and all over the floor were pieces of leaf. When I'd been dusting, cleaning, sorting, clearing the hall for part of my life, and I think, oh really, just feels like we go round in circles. I do think the big issue with my hall is my understairs cupboard. So I hear what you've all said about that. If you saw it, I think you'd be horrified if you opened the cupboard. I mean, it's a lovely front door cupboard there that I had made to fit in that space because I wanted to cover up the clutter. Of course, when these houses were first built, that was fully open. There was no cupboard door there, so I had the door all fitted and made to fit in with the style of the house. But yeah, it's kind of what happens is you open the door, you sling your shoes in, and then you have to hunt for them for about 10 minutes when you then need the shoes again. I'm sure there's some shoes that I can get rid of that my daughter's outgrown, and maybe some shoes that I just need to let go because I hardly ever wear them anymore. But it's hard for all of us. You probably saw me on the video on Monday or the other day, maybe even on this video, where I'm walking around in one slipper. That is because I cannot locate the other slipper, and that's somewhere in the Understairs cupboards. And if you watch the video to the end, you will see what I'm talking about. The mystery of the Understairs cupboard. I think really my daughter always wanted me to clear it out and turn it into like a Harry Potter style cupboard. But that is where we house shoes, handbags, bags such as swimming bags, umbrellas. But it is also where things are stored such as a spare record player, a Star Wars mug, a Lego game that I feel unable to get rid of, a Playmobil figure, and various other anomalies. Okay, so you can see my haul where it was all messy and untidy. This is where I feel like cringing when anybody knocks on the door. So I wanted to tidy it all up and make it much, much better. And I was so pleased because yesterday my little car got sent off to the repair people, and we've got a car that's that they're giving us, for while the car is in the garage, and it's another Fiat 500, and I could not find my driving licence, but I did have my driving licence number. So I asked the man whether that was okay, and I felt really happy to open my door wide and to put my laptop on the stairs while I quickly brought the information up. Whereas how I feel usually is that I've got to kind of close the door because I don't want people to see 10 pairs of shoes and 20 bags and various other things on the floor. I know it is just shoes, but I just feel like it's just clutter and it's never tidy. That's how I feel. So I managed to do this in a very short period of time, and you'll see that I'm dressed in my work clothes, and that was because I had a meeting first thing in the morning, and I just felt like getting up and not putting my normal jeggings on, which I do sometimes wear for work, and instead I put a dress on. Some of my jeggings, now my size 12s, are far too tight. So we have different sizing in the United Kingdom. I'm not sure what the size 12 is equivalent to in America, but your sizes are slightly different. And I've only got one size of 14 in my jeggings, and they're in the wash and they're in the process of getting dry. So I just thought that I'd just put a dress on. And I know often when people see me doing this with a brush, they say, why are you not using a hoover? There's a couple of reasons. I was trying to get this done really quickly, and I wanted to go all along the skirting boards. The hoover was upstairs in the spare bedroom, and it was going to be a challenge to get down, to say the least, because of all the items for my sale that's kind of in the entrance of the spare room. And also my little hoover was on charge. So I just decided to go all over it and brush the mat. Now I've got that big stain on the mat, and I do plan to get rid of this. So what I'm going to do next time I go to IKEA, I'm going to measure up the size of the mat, and then I'm going to get a replacement. Maybe one that's slightly smaller, because sometimes there is a bit of a challenge when I open up the door of the Understairs cupboard and the mat. They sometimes hit each other and they're not friends. So you can see I then managed to start using my little hoover because it was charged enough that I was able to use it. And then you can see in the lounge where I've left a few things out. So we've got a couple of devices on the rug. We should just be very strict that nothing is left out on the rug. That's what we should try and do. So so I managed to do quite a lot of work in the house overall, so I was quite pleased. And then today I did the school run in this car that we're borrowing. It drives really nicely. It's like just a newer Fiat 500. My daughter went on a school trip, which was good. I worked all through the morning, and then I decided to take a break at lunchtime and go on a walk. So I walked to the supermarket, and you sort of go around with a pull-along trolley, and then I had this ridiculous idea of everything that I could carry. I thought that's okay, because in the backpack, oh my goodness, I had to stop on the way back and sit down on a bench because I was like so out of breath because the bag was so heavy and I was walking at quite a pace. But I guess that's good for me. I'm going to go back to starting to say no to something, and I'm going to go back to starting to do my 10,000 steps. Now, I know lots of you were doing various different things for fitness. So how are you getting on with those? I want to lose a bit of weight before Christmas time, really, because I feel like I'm just constantly putting a little bit of weight on. My dad had a few days in York, and I wasn't expecting to see him, but he popped in and gave me and my husband some fudge and my daughter a little like flute ornament that came from the Jorvik Centre, because he's about to go on holiday again, which is good for him. But so I was so pleased to see him, and my daughter went, "Grandad!" and went running to the door, which must have been nice for him. So he just popped in like very briefly just to say hello, and kind of I'm off again. But the fudge, I'm going to be very strict, and I'm not going to have much of that at all. I think most of the box, to be honest, has been eaten by my husband. My husband really likes fudge. I do too. I just think I just need to be sensible leading up to Christmas. And if I'm going to have something like an ice cream or a cookie or something sweet, I'm going to eat it at just after I've eaten my main meal. So that helps the blood sugar then, doesn't it? Because otherwise your blood sugar is spiking all day, which puts more pressure on your body. So that's what I'm going to do. So I had some good meetings this morning. I also had my appraisal for job number 2, which went well. She's a really nice manager, actually. And then this afternoon I did a little bit more work, and then I did the school run. So my next few jobs on the list for you to look out for is my Understairs cupboard, because I think that this would make our lives much easier. Now we have got shoe racks under the cupboard, and when you see the video at the end, you will see you can't see the shoe rack, because the shoe rack is just covered in stuff. But any ideas welcome. We just need some sort of system where it's quick and easy to get the specific shoes that we want. My dad, when he comes round, he's got a bag which has got his slippers in, and he either goes to the bag, or my daughter will just straight away run to the bag and get the slippers out for Grandad. And I wonder whether we should have some other sort of system where we can easily go straight to our shoes. I'm sort of wearing the same, I've got some vegan shoes, and I've been wearing them for quite a while because I can't find my flies. And now the weather's changing, I'm going to start wearing my fly boots. But these vegan shoes, I went on a walk with my friend the other night, and they just got drenched through. I think they're splash proof, but they're not waterproof. So yes, I'm going to do understairs cupboard. Then this windowsill that you can see in the video. So on that windowsill, all I'm going to have is my green kettley thing. I'm not quite sure what it is, but it's a certain British make and I like it. So it's going to be there, that, and the picture of my dad when he was a little boy. I'm not going to have anything else on there. So that's going to be clutter-free, clear. I'm also going to clear the little table in the hall once and forever. And all that's going to be on there is a tray for keys and my little money box, which is quite useful just to have spare change. So that's all going to be on there. And I'm going to do a pantry video, but the pantry video needs to wait until a Monday. And you know my thing, I don't work Mondays. And then I had to go to the board and present, so I worked on a Monday. Then I had to do a follow-up meeting with the fire service, and I worked on a Monday. And then next Monday, I'm due to do an observation. But the lady who I'm observing, she messaged and said, that the part of it had been cancelled, but would I like to come in anyway? So I messaged back and said, thanks a lot for letting me know. Actually, Monday is my day off. So I'm happy to extend my meeting the week after where I'm going to see her. And she was happy with that. So that Monday, I'm going to be doing my massive pantry sort out. And we mustn't forget the bedrooms. So quick update for you. My daughter's bedroom, I'd say, is in a state of being maintained. The bathroom is in a state of being maintained. The landing is being maintained, apart from, at the moment, there's a pile of my daughter's birthday presents there. The playroom needs a massive declutter, and our bedroom and study needs a massive declutter. So that's kind of where we are. Often people say about the sheds that we've got in our garden. Yeah, we've got a big shed and a small man cave. Both of them you can't physically get in. So there's no way we can move anything out into those because they also need to be decluttered. Okay, I'm now going to go through some of your wonderful comments. Before I do, I just need to mention this. I've noticed on my videos, there's a lady, she's got like quite a northern accent, I think, and they're always advertising sprays for rooms. I just wanted to mention, those of you that get adverts, because I know some of you don't get adverts because you pay for YouTube Premium or similar, I would never use these sprays in my house. Now, each to their own, if you like the sprays and etc, etc. But goodness, I've heard a few sort of horror stories in terms of some of the chemicals that are in these sprays. And I think quite a lot of you think the same because you've commented about using vinegar to clean or you make your own cleaners. And I know lots of you have had sort of problems with different sprays in that they make you wheezy or make you feel unwell. I'm just not sure that I really think it's very natural. Even the ones that say they're natural, I'm not quite convinced, but that's just my personal opinion. But I just noticed that one of my videos, that every single time I got like a comment and I clicked on it, that was the same lady advertising various different sprays. Right, so in terms of comments, Carrie Rawson says, I will always remember what my grandma said to me. A girl is for life, a boy takes a wife. Very, very interesting. And you've reminded me, there was a similar expression that I was told. A boy is a son until he gets a wife, and a girl is a daughter for life. So very, very similar. I do think it's really hard. But I don't know, I think that there's a lot that I do behind the scenes, like, and I'll say to my husband, oh, why don't you message your mum? Or why don't you message your dad? Or why don't you pop around and see your mum? So I do sort of do that, but I don't think people actually appreciate or realise that. So Carrie says, I help to keep my clutter down, but if I haven't used it in 3 months, then the likelihood is you're not going to use it. So get rid of it. Same goes for clothing. If you haven't worn it, you're not so get rid of it. Or you'd have a field day with some of my clothes. Some of my clothes I've not worn since before I was pregnant. So, more than 12 years ago, some of them longer. And I've got clothes that I've had for 20 years. And some of them I'm now saving for my daughter. But let's hope that doesn't turn out like the Travis t-shirt, which my daughter did look really cool with the Travis t-shirt. But she decided that wasn't her style and she wore it for 30 minutes and then took it off. Esther said, instead of doing a sale with your daughter, can you give her some money? I once paid my son when he was younger, 4 or 5 years old maybe, $2 for a pile of clutter. He was thrilled, so was I. I love that. Another thought is to maybe set your donations out in the front of your house with a sign that says free. Then it's not a burden on the thrift stores and you don't have to take it anywhere. You could advertise it on Marketplace and I'm sure you would enjoy watching how quickly it gets picked up. We used to live on a busy street and it worked great for us. People are struggling, so it might be a blessing to others. Yeah, you raised some good points, Esther. And just kind of fair in terms of you were happy with him getting rid of that clutter and he was happy with the $2. I guess part of this is also she's excited about the sale. And I am also wanting to teach her about the value of money. So me and my husband have worked very, very hard. And that means that she can do extra things and have extra hobbies and, go on different holidays. And I never want her to not realise how we afford to pay for things. And so the fact that she does a sale, and she's done this before where she sold some things and then she thinks twice before she then wants to spend £10 on another soft toy because she realises what she had to do in order to earn that £10. So it's kind of partly about, teaching her the value of money. Give you an example. I know I'm starting to waffle, but when we went to Venice a couple of years ago, I'd never been on a gondola. And I can remember thinking about, what a wonderful thing. And I've been to Venice quite a few times, but never been on a gondola. Now, for those of you that have been to Venice or have heard about Venice, you'll know that gondola trips are very expensive. Now, of course, we could have just paid for the gondola trip. Or what I said to my husband and my daughter was, me and my husband decided it and then explained it to my daughter, that we were going to spend the year saving up for a gondola trip. So she got quite excited that every time she, say, got pocket money from granddad or she got given some money for a birthday, she would put part of that in the gondola fund. And then when we got close to the holiday, we got the money out and we counted it all up and it was like, yay, well done, we've got enough for the gondola. So it's kind of those sort of messages where I don't want her to think, I don't think she will because she's good at saving her money and she's a sensible little girl. But I don't want her to feel like it was the bank of mum and dad. I guess that's partly what I sort of think about that. I think also it's a good idea to get rid of some things to put outside the house, the front of my house and get rid of. We did that a little bit during COVID and asked people to help themselves. I think that's a good idea. Blessing to others, like you said. Janet says, my mum always said, a son's a son till he takes a wife. A daughter's a daughter the rest of her life. Yes. Similar, isn't it? I guess she knew. She had 7 sons and 4 daughters. Wow. Yeah, but like I said, it's made me, I just think, when I saw my sister with her lovely, lovely boys, my nephews, it does make you think, doesn't it? I think it can be hard sometimes for mother-in-laws. Rebecca said, I would love a nice mother-in-law. Mine is so bad. We stopped all contact 5 years ago. It was the best decision for us. What a shame. I just think, yes, mother-in-laws, father-in-laws can be such a blessing to families. And then sometimes it can be so, so difficult. So I do feel for you. There's a few people that comment and follow this channel that are in the same situation. So, I completely understand. Why can't things be easier, simpler? But instead they can be quite a toxic dynamic almost. Well, I guess anybody can be, can't they? But I can remember a friend of mine, that honestly, the amount of arguments that were caused because of the mother-in-law's involvement and interference and influence. So many arguments ended up being caused, and it was like certain things would be said or done and then the mother-in-law would step back and watch this ripple effect. Whereas I'm lucky, like with my mum and dad, whatever they do, they're always trying to encourage like harmony, people to get on, people to make things easier. It's just so different. Karen has said a similar thing to what I said the other day. My own mother never praised me to my face, but people have told me how she does so with them. I found this out after she passed away. Oh, that's so sad, Karen. I'm glad you found out, but what a shame she didn't say it to your face. I had a conversation with somebody else and we were talking about this, that some people just find it so difficult to praise. But I think it's such a shame. Such a shame. Carolyn says that she's going to donate directly to Natasha's allergy charity. Oh, thank you so much, Carolyn. Please don't anybody feel obliged to do that, because by watching my videos, you're all raising money. YouTube are now calculating the total because it's after the end of September. So once I know the total, I'll be able to transfer the money over to them. But the good thing is, the money that was made in September looks like it's going to be more than double August. So that's all down to the fact that people have been watching so many videos, and of course my followers have increased as well, which makes a big difference. So a massive thank you to you all. I couldn't have done it without you. You've helped me raise this money, so thank you. Brooke says, when you are picking up toys in the lounge, your daughter is on the couch and the TV is on. Just curious why she's not clearing up the toys. When you are working in the dining room, I noticed that you set notebooks and such flat in a basket. If you stand them up on their ends or bottom, you won't have to take everything out to find what you need. You definitely have given your daughter and continue to give her a secure attachment. The way that people parent definitely has changed over the years, especially as new research has come out. I agree. I hope you have a sale in a week or two, early October. So thank you again, Brooke, for your message. I commented back and also asked Brooke about her little baby goats. For those of you that haven't seen, find Brooke's name, Brooke Howell, 8841, and look at these super cute goats. I think they're gorgeous. Yes, so you're right, Brooke. She was watching television. Now, there's a couple of reasons for that. So firstly, you'll notice that she's not on any of my videos. Well, very rarely on any of my videos. So she couldn't easily help with tidying up while I was doing that. And I just wanted to do a quick video of what the lounge was like and how I was getting the lounge sorted. But you're also right, I don't probably ask her enough to help. Although that specific moment, she had worked all morning, she had got loads of homework to do, and she literally had like about 40 minutes for lunch and to watch some television to catch up on her favourite YouTubers. Meg Conchota, she's one of her favourites, Dean Seme, and who else? GB Era. That's like a family, and they're really lovely family, Italian family, and they do videos on all different games and travelling the world. So they have been many times to London. They've visited places in London that we have never visited. So my daughter's like, oh, I want to go there. And lots of places in America. And she loves that. And I love her loving that because that helps with her Italian vocabulary. So you are right, Brooke, but there was reason for it. And you know sort of my views about chores. I want her to keep her own room tidy, and that is being maintained, but I don't want her to have lots to do, because I feel that her number one priority is being a child, and then number 2 is her homework, number 3 is our hobbies, and then number 4 is doing the odd thing to help. I know that that's not the same view that everyone else will have, but yeah, that was kind of the reason for that. Cynthia. Now, Cynthia's from Brenham in Texas, and we have had a sudden influx of people that are all from Texas. Now, little fun fact, somebody told me, I mentioned on my video about Texas probably being bigger than the United Kingdom, and someone has confirmed it's 2.8 times bigger. I mean, that is just incredible. Really, really incredible to me. And I think that explains why I'm on different travel groups on Facebook and social media, and they often talk about, oh, we're just going to pop to Europe. And people say, I'm going on holiday for a week, thought I'd spend a day in London, 2 days in Barcelona, 3 days in Paris, and spend the rest of the time on the Rhine. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like you need 3 weeks to see London, 3 weeks to see Paris. But I think it is because they see us being so small, and I guess we are. If Texas is 2.8 times bigger than the United Kingdom. So Cynthia Miller, welcome Cynthia. She says, I'm blessed to have a cleaning person come every 2 weeks to help out. We're in our late 70s. In between times, my husband and I share the chores and cooking. He's very good about helping around the house, and he loves to run errands. I guess, Cynthia, I'm assuming that you're not now both working, so it's not really about him helping you out. It's about you working together. But it's nice how you share everything. And it's kind of nice that you've also get to have a cleaning person come in to help. That's really good. Cynthia also says, my mother-in-law passed on many years ago. She was the greatest, so loving and kind, and she never criticised me even once. We both had very similar ideas about cleaning, cooking and child rearing. My husband inherited many of his wonderful qualities from her. Oh, rest in peace, Dorothy Miller. What a lovely, lovely post. She sounds like a really lovely lady. I think it's interesting how people are all so different. My mother and father-in-law were good parents, to the best parents they know how to be. Isn't that the phrase from the song? Be the best parent you know how to be. To my husbands, and they are, absolutely lovely grandparents. I do think it's difficult when families and parents are so different, and then their children go on to date and get married, when actually sort of the parents are quite different on a number of different things. Like my parents always taught me to save, and to save first and then spend afterwards. Again, people have different view on that, don't they? We're all different, all got different ways. Okay, so next comment is, Carolyn has said Texas is the second largest state in the US. So if I go and visit Texas, where should I visit? Cool, I'm looking for some holiday tips now. And the fact that it's still really, really hot and sunny, I can't believe that. Bex said that she loved the before and after shots. Thank you, Bex. Holly said, oh my goodness, I didn't realise your giveaway will be macrame hangers, or macrame in the American way of pronouncing it. That's the best giveaway ever. Now, Holly loves her indoor plants. How are you doing, Holly? Are you still having to rest in bed? Are you feeling any better? Lizzie says, you speak so much sense. Oh, thank you, Lizzie. It's nice for someone to say that. I.e. the bins and having to remind, you might as well put them out. It's that mental load. That's what it is. It's the mental load. If the mental load is still with you, then you're still owning that task. So the key is to get somebody else to take it on as being their mental load. When you put your clothes over the radiators, have they been dried? And you're just airing them, wondering otherwise if they are wet, why don't you cause damp and condensation? Have you thought of using the drying facilities at the local laundrette? Washing for family and bedding, total nightmare here in the UK with our weather. I love it. Every time I see the little Welsh flag that Lizzie puts on there, I think I need to go and visit Wales. I don't know enough about Wales. I need to go and visit. So yeah, a couple of things there. So yeah, we talked about the mental load. With damp, now I consider myself the local damp expert. Any advice, any information on black mould, come and speak to yours truly. I'm joking, but I'm also being serious. I have got a lot of experience of dealing with black mould from job 3 and advising people on what to do to stop mould and stop preventing it from the first place, because once you get it, it's very difficult to keep on top of and keep it cleared. And I've seen people cleaning black mould and then using the same cloth to go and clean somewhere else, and of course then they're surprised when they see the spores appear in another room. So they are all wet washing, Lizzie. All of those things are wet, but I heat the house and ventilate the house so there's a constant cycle of air flow, air movement. And that is the key thing with condensation and the prevention of black mould. So you're right, in many people's houses that would cause that unless they put in place to properly heat and properly ventilate. So Kimberly said, yes, Texas is big. It's still 90 degrees Fahrenheit during the day, and in the south of Texas the humidity is brutal. So August, sort of July and August is the hottest time of the year, isn't it? In parts of America, and then it gets cooler, or is it just a stay hot? Because obviously we're now October. Andrea says, I loved the puppet show, Emma. You are doing such a great job. I loved hearing you say, my second passing through in the dresser of clothes. Way to go. You are a phenomenal mother. Oh, that's very kind of you to say that, Andrea. And you are too. How are you, Andrea? So Andrea wasn't feeling herself for a little bit, but I think she's starting to feel a bit better. Andrea, please let us know. So you can see there's not really that much to do with my kitchen. I did a little bit of washing up, but I'm out of washing up liquid. Can you believe I walked all the way to the supermarket to get those bits, and only to realise when I got home, oh, bother, I'm out of washing up liquid. What I had been doing is I've got a big container and then I've just been transferring it to smaller containers, but I'm completely out. So I've put another load of washing on that I need to do. You can see the shepherd's pie there is ready to go into the oven. My husband made that, and it was really, really nice. And then we've got broccoli, beans and cabbage, vegetables to go with the shepherd's pie. So I'm getting towards the end of the video, so I hope you've all had a nice day. Hopefully you saw my message where in future I'm going to be doing release videos Monday, Wednesday and Friday, and then I'm going to do a live once a month. So please look out for my videos throughout the week. And every time you like, comment, that all helps me. So thank you very, very much. So for the rest of the week, tomorrow I'm going to be working from home, which I'm quite pleased about. Thursday I'll be going into the office. Originally I was not going to go into the office because I didn't have my car, but now I've got the little Fiat 500 replacement. I'll go into the office. And then Friday will be my normal sort of long day. And then after school on Friday, my husband's going to take my daughter to her flute lesson. And then we'll do our normal chips. And Saturday and Sunday, I was thinking to myself, I was chatting to my friend on our walk the other day about how our girls are going to a girl guide trip. And I thought, oh, well, that's quite nice. What things will I do? Because she said she was going out with her husband for the day. So I thought, oh, what will I do? And then I realised, I know what I will do. I am a volunteer on said trip. So it'll really be, what will my husband be doing? He's not that keen on spending the day by himself. And then we've got Sunday where we'll probably go to church. And then the weekend after that is going to be another busy one. So that's completely booked up. So we'll see kind of what happens really with this sale. I think I'm going to hear all of you screaming from all the corners of the world. I think the sale is going to have to be in March. And I can hear you all shouting, no, 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 get it out of your house. But the weather is turning. It's getting less and less likely. It's not in the way, is it? Because I shut that door and I forget all about it. So I am still getting rid of the things that I don't want to put on the sale. I'm still taking to the charity shop. So there's still lots and lots of things leaving the house. But if I have it in March, we'll be able to lay out everything. The weather will be nice. People will want to buy things that won't be leading up to Christmas. Like some of you have said, well, the weather's not good and it's getting close to Christmas. People won't spend any money. And then also that will mean that I will have decluttered some more spaces and I'll have more things to sell. So that's what I'm thinking. And I know at this point you're all shouting at YouTube, have the sale now. But when you think about it, this weekend is a no-go. Next weekend is a no-go. Then it's half term, where I'm thinking about going to London for a few days, so I can't really go ahead and book things. And then it's November. Then it's nearly Christmas. So this is what I'm thinking at the moment. So that brings me to the end of my video, and you've had a sneak peek of the cupboard under the stairs, the Harry Potter cupboard. So thank you very much for your ongoing support. Thank you for watching all of my video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.